This is Unexpected with Hannah Love. In this podcast, you will gain a new perspective of how God loves you enough to call you to things that you couldn't have imagined for yourself. I saw a quote the other day that said, "Jesus died for you in public. Don't live for him in private." And I will tell you something, that is powerful. I honestly doubt many people think to themselves, "Oh, that's me. I'm living a private life for Christ." But do you know what it does make me think of? It makes me think of the surface level lives people lead. And the truth is, it's kind of the same thing. Surface level relationships, conversations, and even posts. Sure, they can actually be easier. They may feel safer. They certainly take less time, and they may even cause less stress. But I have to ask, who is that benefiting? Listen, I didn't come here today to make anyone feel guilty for not standing on the rooftop shouting about Jesus. I just came here to encourage you to take your moment. Take your moment when it presents itself. Be bold in the small things. Share your testimony with your Uber driver. Ask how you can pray for the cashier who's checking you out. Look at that homeless person in the eye when you hand them a water or a meal and tell them that God sees them and you see them. Tell them that they are loved. Just do the thing in front of you. Do it with intention. It's not that big or scary or intimidating. What could you possibly lose by doing any of these things other than just a few minutes of your time? Isn't this what the Bible is? Stories of Jesus taking moments of his time with people? Jesus being intentional about the needs in front of him, the brokenness before him, the people around him. Can you imagine if Jesus chose to be surface level with people? Can you imagine if Jesus only posted what looked good to his followers? I mean, I'm sure that turning water into wine would have made an amazing post on Instagram. But what about the other stuff? The stuff less worthy of a photograph? The humble moments or the messy ones? What about the times Jesus loved enough to correct people? What about the times he confronted the enemy? What about the times he upset the local authorities by following God's principles rather than man's? How effective could he have possibly been by living surface level? I know it's a lot of ifs today, but just think. What if Jesus had only thanked Martha for hosting rather than telling her that Mary was in the right for sitting at his feet? What if Jesus waved to the fishermen while walking by but never told them to cast their nets on the other side? What if Jesus only allowed people to serve him rather than serving others? What if Jesus passed up the sick to get to where he was going? What if Jesus had only chatted with the woman at the well about the weather instead of sharing the depth of who he was and the hope of eternal life? Have y'all started Christmas shopping yet? I have, and I also have the perfect gift idea for you. It's called Journal the Word Bible. And what better gift to give than the Word, than hope? They have versions for everyone, for men and women and teen and large print for those of you like me who have bad vision. They even have reference editions, and most especially for me and my artist heart, they have margin in the side for you to write or doodle or draw whatever revelation God gives you, whatever season you're in, and you want to write the date or the note or the thing on your heart. There's room for it. And the pages are creamy and thick, so there's no bleed through. I love them. I know that anyone you gift them to will love them. It's the perfect gift this season. So if you're interested, check it out at journaltheword.com or your local Christian bookstore. And now back to our show. Guys, he was the model for us in all of it. Why shouldn't we be sharing who we are, brothers and sisters of Christ, children of God, and the hope that Jesus brought to the world? Shouldn't we be sharing about how we are who we are because of who Jesus is and what he did for us? About how our lives are what they are now because of the hope that he offers? That the love, joy, peace, it's all fruit of our lives lived honoring him. I find it such a shame that surface level is so often what we get today instead of time and intentionality. We live in an instant gratification world where we scroll literally on average from 7 seconds every reel, going from one hit of endorphins to the next. Not only is it exhausting, but it's void of depth. Can I tell you a secret? You can't go deep if you don't take time. Roots aren't strong without it. Connection can't happen without it. Faith can't grow without it. Depth. You can't go deep if you don't take the time. Go deeper than surface level. With people, with the world. Yes, it can be intimidating to live outwardly. It opens you up to rejection and hurt. But Jesus did it. And if he did it, shouldn't we? So today I'll end again with this reminder. Jesus died for you in public. So don't live for him in private. Friends, I offer this reminder because there was a time I myself needed it too. And I would be lying if I said I never struggled with the worry of offending others with my beliefs. But I can also say wholeheartedly that I have never, ever regretted sharing the good news. I have never regretted living deeper than surface level. Why should I regret sharing the hope of the world? The source of joy in the midst of hardships, the source of peace in chaos, the source of all that is good. I don't. And I promise, sweet friends, you won't either. Live deep. Go deeper than surface. Give more time. Be more intentional. It's what Jesus did. And I thank God for that. Every story of his life exemplified what and how we should live. So let's get to it. I love y'all. I am including a Q&A in my show notes today, so don't be afraid to go and leave a comment or feedback. I love hearing from you guys and what I can do to serve and encourage in any way. Love you guys, and I will see you again next week. Thank you so much for listening today. If this episode has encouraged you, please feel free to share the show with your family and friends. There's a lot of stuff going on in the world today, and my hope is that this show is a candle in the dark.